Oh my gosh. You know, a few years ago, I would have told you self-improvement was the answer to everything. More books, more discipline, more optimization. But eventually I realized that more self-improvement can eventually lead to more unhappiness. Welcome to today's video. I would say similar to a lot of people, my journey on self-improvement was pretty similar. I can remember back in high school, senior year, that's when I really started to consume it and believe it and implement it. I don't know why I'm sitting. We're actually about to go for a run. I just warmed up. Maybe whatever. I was on my first real diet. The first time in my life where I wasn't just doing what everybody else was doing, just with sports, school, studying. It was the first time where I was like, okay, let's try something. And so I started consuming a lot of fitness content. I started learning about nutrition, programs, all of that. And it was great. I got better, lost a bunch of weight, looked great, built some confidence. It was fantastic. But then after watching some of that fitness content, I started to watch more and go down rabbit holes and start to read the books they were recommending. And then next thing you know, everybody's a fitness guru and a health and a lifestyle guru. And it's the same people and it's the same pool. And I was just consuming more and more and more of that. And it started with me taking some of this information, implementing it into my life, and seeing good out of it. And then TikTok blows up and everybody's pitching ideas and whatever. And then there's just all this hype, fitness, self-improvement slop out there. And it's hard to decipher what you should implement, what's important, and what's actually gonna tear your life apart. Running is such a weird freaking little sport. Yesterday, had 9-mile speed workout, cool down warm-ups, all of that included 7:40 pace. Felt fast. Today, 4-mile recovery. I'm struggling to run the 9:15. My legs feel like they've got cement bricks attached to them. And it's just so interesting how what you eat and what you do the day before can impact you so much on a run. I don't want to put such a bad rep on self-improvement because for some people, they actually really need it and it can really help them. But for me, I took it to a new level. I don't think I really needed the medicine. And now, years later, I've had to change my whole perception on life because when I was so deep into self-improvement when I was younger, rest felt lazy. Every time I accomplished something, I felt like I needed to be on the next thing. Nothing ever felt like it was enough. And I could just never enjoy doing activities. I couldn't even read a fictional book because I felt like it was a waste of time and I had to be reading biographies, had to be reading self-improvement, had to be reading up on finance. I couldn't do anything just for enjoyment. Everything had to be for a purpose that would make me better. I went to sleep not because I was tired. I went to sleep because it would help me recover. I stopped listening to music so I could listen to podcasts because I didn't learn anything from music, but podcasts, maybe I could pick up a couple things. And so I stopped doing anything for actual enjoyment, and the idea of just doing something for the fun of it, just because life started to become a foreign idea for me. And so some people need that medicine and they're way on one side of the scale, and that self-improvement information, let's say, brings them back to the center. But some people, like me, are all the way on the other side of the scale, and it just pushes them and pushes them and pushes them out of frame, when really they need to take less of that medicine to center themselves again. Everybody's different, but for me, the problem was I just couldn't do things just to do them anymore. Every place I've lived, I've always made sure I had a balcony. And South Carolina had a balcony. Florida have a balcony. It gets so freaking hot that I never can really just chill out here. But today is actually a fairly nice day, and I'm already sweaty, so I actually don't mind sitting out here and enjoying the quiet, which ever since I've gotten over that self-improvement hump and stopped consuming so much grindcore slop on social media and all the self-help books, I've realized that the point of life isn't to work harder. The point of life is to succeed at the things that matter to you. Relationships, experiences, career success, business success, a happy life. And if you're anything like me, it's very easy to think that to obtain some of those things require more and more work, when really the idea and the goal is to develop leverage so that minimal inputs can give you those outputs that you want. Because if you get so caught up in the weeds in self-improvement to improve your life, you're actually taking a lot out of life, and you're never actually going to be able to enjoy it, because your growth should support your life, not replace it, if that makes any sense. And if you struggle with this like I do, I actually put a little bit of if you struggle with this like I used to and still sometimes do, I created a course. I'll link the description below. It's in my bio too. It's free. You just put your email in and it sends it over to you. It's like 13 pages. Spent a good time putting it together, and it's just lessons and experiences and things I did to get out of this self-improvement slop, get out of this self-improvement grind mode where everything is dark and you always think more is the answer. Self-improvement, fitness, reading books, grinding, it all goes hand in hand. And it's about using fitness and self-improvement and grinding to actually improve your life, not just make you work more. Grinding and self-improvement, again, shouldn't pull away from you. So it's free. If you want to click the link below, download it. If not, carry on. And so I'm going to sit here and enjoy this quiet moment for a second, because I now appreciate those and understand that I could be reading a book, I could be getting in another session, I could be researching something. It's not necessary right now. It's not necessary right now.